If you ever had the absolute temerity to believe that we are not on the precipice of a hostile takeover at the hands of far-right extremists, then you've probably not heard about the latest salvo in the war against holy progressivism and all of its blue-haired, limp-wristed, but morally perfect adherents. Yes, let's sit in the dust in sackcloth and pour upon our own heads the ashes of an otherwise utopian liberal society, weeping and gnashing our teeth. Now, I want to caution you, if you have small children, shield them from what I'm about to say so that their innocence is not taken from them moments too soon in the appropriately penis-shaped state of Florida. That's actually hard to say. Penis-shaped state of Florida. There is now available to the general public a license plate with, wait for it, the Gadsden flag. What fresh horror is visited upon the casual citizen who must now, in the course of his or her or their daily drive, encounter the image of a yellow field with a coiled snake and the words, "Don't tread on me," emblazoned across the bottom. How many car wrecks will you cause in your ignoble zealotry, you white cisgendered male-dominant right-wing whores? Sorry, I forgot to speak progressive properly. You white cisgendered male-dominant right-wing sex workers. That's better. Folks, little exaggeration need be used to describe the appearance of the Gadsden flag as a license plate option when NPR and Newsweek, willing to wring their hands between bouts of spurious and furious typing on a day when surely their news cycle folder must have been otherwise empty. Listen to this Newsweek quote, and I want you to try to keep your lunch down. They said, much like the Confederate flag, the Gadsden flag is accused of harboring racial connotations, seeing as its designer owned and traded black slaves, end quote. Now, if you have a brain in your head, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, yeah, so did a ton of other people, many of whom did far more than create a flag, make sure that pencil-necked pukes like the editorial staff at Newsweek would continuously have the right to print nonsense like this. But I digress. NPR posted an entire article on the subject, also labeling the flag as a far-right symbol and making the following claim. They said, and I quote, "The imagery of the Revolutionary War-era Gadsden flag dates to Benjamin Franklin, but has, for many, come to symbolize a far-right extremist ideology and the Stop the Steal movement that sought to overturn the 2020 presidential election results," end quote. Now, obviously, this garnered a lot of eye rolls and a lot of funny Twitter responses. Imagine being such a snowflake that a license plate scares you was done by one of our own, Jill Savage, here at the Blaze. Why? Because this almost doesn't even fit into the category of dangerous rhetoric on the part of the left. It's almost too stupid for that. But I use the word almost advisedly because, of course, there's a deeper ideological substrate from which a dumbass notion like this emerges into the real world. Because it's gaslighting, pure and simple. We all know what "don't tread on me" means. Even the wokey McWokersons or the writing staff at NPR know what it means. It stands for a mindset which says that neither the government of this country nor the governments of other countries get to take away our freedoms. We will not be trampled on. And that's a mindset that used to be shared to one extent or another by both sides of the political spectrum. We could actually unify around that. We used to understand that whatever our internal differences on the nuts and bolts of running this country, we all had a base level of freedom which could not and should not be trampled on. Now, we need to get back to that notion. More importantly, we need to find a way to get our liberal-minded brothers and sisters back to that notion. They're not going to make it easy on us, that's for sure. Oh, and one final note, since I can't end with all the peace and lovey-dovey, hold hands and sing kumbaya, throw your stick in the fire shit. Hey, liberals, know who's making those license plates with the oppressive Gadsden flag on them? Forced labor. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. They don't think these things through. So... Anyway,
these things? I don't think anything through.
Anything. Do you have any tequila in your glass? I got some tequila.
I do.
And I'll be honest with you, I drank a lot last night. And I didn't mean to. But I was with Steve Helms.
We never do.
And it forces me because you have to drink to be around Steve.
Poor